Welcome to the Total Outdoors with the Yankee Cowboy. This is a request video. I had somebody about 3 weeks ago ask me if I could do a video on what to get when they're getting into archery. What should they buy, what should they not buy? Well, I'm not going to say go out and buy what I have. It's the best, because what works for me may not work for you. But what I will say is don't make the mistakes I made, because there are a few things I'm going to tell you that are proven to be correct. First things first is get yourself to a Cabela's or anywhere where they sell bows, and you could take some bows off of the shelf to let you shoot them. Try out what's going to be comfortable for you. Don't just run out like I did. I went on Craigslist. I bought the first bow I saw. It was a Browning, so that was a plus, so I jumped on it because I love Browning stuff. Good quality. There was nothing wrong with the bow. It's just that it was outdated, and modern arrows that they use today, most of them use blazer vanes, and the shelf, which I'll show you in a second, wasn't big enough on that Browning, so I went through a lot of shit with it, and I ended up getting rid of it in the end. Excuse me, guys, I'm drinking my my Mio out of my Nalgene bottle that I customized with my Cabela sticker. Because if anybody knows me and my videos by now, I love Cabela's. But first things first, let's get into the reason why I got rid of that. Okay, here's my gold tip hunter arrows I just bought. I'm gonna pop one off. Now that I got a newer camera, I can do close-ups and it will focus. Okay, guys, this is what's called a blazer vane. And what was happening was you see how the height of this? It was hitting the shelf on that Browning bow. You couldn't fire these kind of arrows. I had to get, I don't even have one down here to show you. The other arrows I had, it wasn't a blazer vane, it was a long vane. And I had to use those specifically. And which was a pain in the ass, because most of the newer arrows use these blazer vanes, and these prove to fly straight. So, without getting sidetracked and off topic, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the bear attack. Alright, we're going to knock this arrow in here for a second. And the shelf that I'm telling you guys about is right here. This distance here. When this arrow comes by the shelf, the one on that Browning I had, these blazer vanes would have hit. They were touching the side of the bow, this shelf, so I couldn't fire it. Let me turn this around and show you guys up close. See, guys, this is the shelf. This cut out in here. My Browning one was way over in here. There wasn't a lot of room. The new ones now, they're cut way in, so you could shoot these big blazer vanes out of it. Another big thing. I went over this when I did this review on this bear attack bow. The newer compound bows have the string stop suppressor, and what I love about the bear is it has two. There's one on each side. See? So when that string hits both of these, it stops it perfectly, and it keeps that arrow true. Some of the other ones only have one down the bottom, so the front of that string is gonna walk a little, and it's gonna throw your arrow off a little. Believe me, I did my homework on it before I bought this one. This bear attack is it's a sweet bow, I'm telling you guys. Okay. Now also, what other mistakes did I make? First mistake, like I said, was not trying anything out before I bought it. So, first thing I want to tell you is don't buy a bow without shooting it. And making sure it's comfortable for you, the draw is right, everything's right for you. Even though you could adjust that, still fire it. Fire a few of them. See which one you like the best. And the second big thing that I already did a video on as well was the releases. Now here we have two styles of release. We got this wrist strap release, which is total crap. This much I'm going to tell you. You wanted what to buy and what not to buy. This is one thing I'm going to stress and totally preach. Do not buy one of these. These suck. I mean, I'm telling you, they suck. Get yourself one of these, a thumb release. when you draw back and anchor, only your thumb moves. These here, like I said, I'm a shotgun shooter. I slap at it. Not only that, we're not even going to get into that. The major fuck up with this design is this wrist strap. You know, some days you could have a jacket on. It's not going to be right. It's a total pain in the ass. And then when you go to knock your arrow, this thing's always getting in the way. This thing is sweet. It's so much more simpler. You draw it back. Just move your thumb. When you're done shooting, guess what? It goes in your pocket. You know what I mean? You can re-knock an arrow. There's nothing dangling around like this. So, that was my second mistake. And then another thing is, get yourself a drop-away rest. That was another mistake. I went with the Whisker Biscuit. What the hell else did I buy? Oh, I bought the one with the 3 sides on it. I tried a million different arrow rests. So I finally bought, let's see. Till I finally bought the Quality Archery Designs drop-away rest. See, you flip this up, and that drops down out of the way, so this way when the arrow goes by, the fletching doesn't touch anything. It's undisturbed, it's unmolested, there's nothing to throw off your arrow. So I'm glad I ended up going with the drop-away arrow rest. So I bought 3 different rests till I finally went with this one. Get yourself a 5-pin sight right off the hop if you're going to do any kind of 3D archery. You're going to be shooting at animals at least 30 yards out. 3-pin isn't going to cut it, especially if you're going to do 3D archery, because once you get into the 3D archery, there's 50-yard shots, 40, 30, 20, 10. They're all over. You need a 5-pin sight. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, just get a 3-pin. You're going to end up spending like I did. I spent over and over and over. I could have bought this bow right from the get-go. So that's that. Let's see. I'm not really sure what else. What else did I make mistakes on with archery? Let's go right from the top, guys. First things first, go somewhere and try out a bunch of different bows. Find what's comfortable. And then, you know what? This may work for you. You may like this. I don't. Try different releases. Before I came upon this one, I knew I wanted to switch to a thumb style release, but I went up to Cabela's. I saw, one of the guys that works there that I deal with. He says, "We'll take them all off the shelf, try out, a bunch of them, and see which one you like." I went with at least a half a dozen different thumb style releases till I came up with this one. This is the Max 300 from True Ball. This one is this is the one I went with. And you could also adjust the trigger pull on that, which is pretty neat. You can't adjust the trigger pull on these. Only on the thumb style you can adjust the trigger pull. If you want it real light or if you want it, stiffer. So, what else, guys? I don't want to make this video too boring, but, it was a request, and I feel it is important because, you know what? I made a lot of mistakes when I bought that first bow and my first year of bow hunting. Made a shit ton of mistakes. First mistake I made was buying that bow. Yeah, I got it for a good price, but guess what? I probably put another $250 into it off the get-go, and then probably another $200 in trial and error. The only good thing is that when I got rid of that bow, which I did sell it, I took the Quality Archery Designs rest, which I paid $120 for. That went on the Bear Attack. My True Glow 5-pin sight, which was $75, that came off of it and went on my Bear. So I was able to take, a couple things off of it. But you know what? This release cost me $40. That was a mistake. Arrows I had was a mistake. The first arrows they sold me were feather. They didn't even give me the plastic kind, which I could have shot the plastic. The guy said I needed feather. I didn't know any better in the beginning. You may not know any better either. So, it was just a nightmare. I went through a lot of crap. So, like I said, best thing for you guys to do if you're thinking about getting into any kind of archery, first off, are you going to be strictly hunting, or are you going to be doing 3D shoots? Think of what style first. Let them know at the shop that you go to, what am I getting into? Am I going to be doing 3D shoots only? Hunting, 3D, whatever. Let them know what you're doing. they'll be able to point in the right direction and try out at least 3 different bows. Try them out, guys. See what works good. And then your next biggest thing is going to be your rest. I'm telling you, go with the drop away. It's the best. And then your third biggest thing is going to be which release you use. I still say all the way, go with the thumb style. It's just much better. It's, you know, 100 times smoother. But, you know, it's going to be up to you guys. Well, like I said, what may work for me isn't going to work for you. Excuse me, my throat is killing me. Alright, so hopefully, you know, this video helped you out. I really don't know what else to tell you about on the archery. I'm trying to think here. I didn't write anything down as usual. I always freestyle with these videos. I just roll the camera and just start babbling. That's about it, guys. That's all I can really think of. You know, the main thing is just don't go into it blind. Don't be, you know, like me, jump on Craigslist and buy the first thing you see. You know, do your homework. Go and try out a few different kinds. See, get the right combination that works for you. That's the best thing I can tell you about getting into archery. If you go into it that way, you're going to have a much better time. My first year was a nightmare. So, I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I did. Alright guys, that's going to do it. Any questions or comments, leave them below. As always, thanks for watching Total Outdoors with the Yankee Cowboy.